Emmalynn.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we are going to be sharing with you our spring TBR. And we were kind of debating whether to do a TBR first or recommendation. And we came to the realization that we don't really have any recommendations since we filmed this video last year. So I'll go ahead and link that video below and up on the screen now. So we each picked 5 books.
They give us spring vibes.
Yeah, spring vibes. Not all the books we're going to read in spring, because I'm sure I'll find something that doesn't make sense to read
Hopefully
right
I'll also
now.
read more than 5 books in an entire season. Hopefully.
So funny.
We'll see.
And I also wanted to not include new releases. Didn't want to include anything I don't have. So I'm sure there will be other books, but from what I have, I need to read.
Yeah.
My first book is The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. And you had read this 2 years ago, probably.
This was in my spring recommendation.
And then recommended it last year.
Yeah.
And this is about Nina Redmond, who works at a library in, I believe, London. And it says her job is no more. I think they lose
funding or something.
Yeah, or if she gets fired or what. And so she decides to be adventurous and start a bookstore van.
A bookmobile.
Yeah. And takes it into a village and travels neighborhood to neighborhood. And it doesn't say, is it in...
I think it's in Scotland.
Scotland or Ireland?
I think it's Scotland.
Okay. It doesn't say if I couldn't remember. But she starts helping the grumpy landlord. Starts getting into farm life. And it's
like a little tiny village. So it has like some found family vibes, which I
some
love.
Quirky.
I think this is...
I love quirky.
It's one of my favorite books by her. I've read several, but that one I still vividly remember.
Yeah, I really want to read this, so then in like May I can read Bookshop on the Shore.
Which I still haven't read that one.
Oh.
Okay. The first book I'm going to talk about, I really don't know much about this book or this series, except that it's about horses, and that's all I really needed to know. I saw this at Barnes & Noble and picked it up and was like, oh, that's cool, a book about horses, and then I saw it again at Walmart, and I was like, I feel like it's meant to be, so I bought it.
Horses.
Yeah. But I think there's like 8 books in this series.
I just know there's going to be so much drama.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear
So
about
I think this was like, what do you call it? Indie published. Is that the same as self-published?
Usually, yeah.
Okay. So
it can be.
It was, and then it got picked up. So they're all coming out like in paperback form slowly. But this one is about a girl named Jules who moved to Florida, which is like horse country, to follow her eventing aspirations, her eventing ambitions, if you will. And so I think she's not only like a competitor in the eventing world, but she's also a trainer. And then there's a little bit of romance, which I think it's going to be like an enemies to lover situation, because I think that guy is also like one of her competitors. So yeah, don't really know a whole lot about it. I just know it's about the horse community, the horse world, which I love. So, yeah, I've never seen anything else with this as like a setting.
No.
Or
mostly, I feel like it's more Western. Yeah. Chestnut Springs.
Yeah, that's true. But this is more
something dusted.
The English side of horsemanship. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good time. And what's more spring than riding a horse? I don't know.
Okay, my next book is on my March TBR too, but this whole trilogy I want to read this spring, because I believe the 4th book comes out
yeah, I forgot there was
I thought it was coming out this year. And
the cover is really pretty.
It's gorgeous, but I call like the first line of the synopsis, so that's kind of unfortunate for me. So I need to like just
forget it.
Get after it.
Throw it out of there.
It's nothing crazy. Like it wasn't depressing or anything. But this Woven Kingdom is just going to be your go-to YA catch-all. I feel like has some forbidden romance. It probably has like one chapter of enemies to lovers, and it just says it says this woven kingdom is the story of clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long-forgotten queen who must claw her way through darkness to reclaim her throne, rebuild her kingdom, and save her people from the half-lives they've been forced to live.
Wow.
So then you could say Throne of Glass is a story of clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long-forgotten queen who must claw her way through darkness. Like, it's just,
typical.
But, like, I love it. So, I think it'll be easy to read.
The covers only get prettier.
Yes,
I don't
they
really
do.
The yellow,
and then like
me.
The newest one is also this whole green and pink color scheme.
I thought it was like I thought it was like turquoisey.
Yeah, but then it has like pink on it too. And this one's my favorite. Besides, I really like the newest one, but yeah,
they're really pretty. The yellow just, I'm like, did you start with the yellow and then kind of like rethink the direction you're wanting?
Or does this really honestly match the setting better? Like, I don't know if this is like supposed to be like a Middle Eastern.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was about to ask that.
I don't know what the world is like at all. But I'm excited to find out.
The next book on my spring TBR. What season are we in? I've had this book forever. I have another book series of hers I'm wanting to start, but I'm not going to let myself do it until I finish this one.
Good for you.
And this is The Ivy Hills. I think it's a trilogy by Julie Klassen. I've read several other books by her. I've read the Christmas book in this series, which I didn't know it was a part of this series. Thought it was a standalone, so oops there. But I don't think it'll spoil anything. But this is about the village of Ivy Hill, shocking, and the innkeeper at Ivy Hill. So the innkeeper is a young widow, and she is struggling to figure out how to keep the inn running. The inn is like very important to the village. It's like kind of the lifeblood of the village. Mm-hmm. And so she's trying to figure out how to manage this inn, also become a businesswoman. But I think there's like men in the village who are wanting her to fail so then they can buy the inn. And then so part of her struggle is also her, what do you call it, tense relationship with her mother-in-law, who I guess used to be the previous innkeeper's wife or whatever. What do they call it? Former mistress of the Bell. The inn is called the Bell. And then I don't know if there's like a potential romance as well, which seems a little soon in my opinion, but maybe she's not a new widow. Maybe that's just how I'm perceiving it. But it's giving Downton Abbey vibes because
the downstairs.
Yeah. That there's, what is the inn in the village called on Downton Abbey? I can't think of it. Book me room at the whatever. Anyways.
No.
It's giving me that vibe. And it says, welcome to the English village of Ivy Hill, where friendships thrive, romance blossoms, and mysteries await. So, just fill the hole that is left in my soul from Downton Abbey ending.
And hopefully it's not as depressing.
I know. Please. No Mr. Bates and a drama-esque in this. I literally can't handle it.
Okay, my next book I bought because of the cover. I was just at Barnes & Noble one day, and I saw this, and then I saw Introduction by Catherine Arden, and I said sold. And it's like just so cute.
Oh, that is so cute.
And I read like the first 2 chapters before I bought it, and I haven't read it since then because I just felt like I needed to save it.
Save and savor.
Mm-hmm. This was published, I think, in 1920.
Really?
1926.
Oh,
So,
wow. I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah, I'm just going to read a little bit from the synopsis because just the language of it is better than anything I would say. A dark, enchanting, rediscovered classic, Blood in the Mist, follows Nathaniel Chanticleer, the respectable mayor of the town Blood in the Mist, on a quest to bring his children back from fairyland. A prosperous town of merry and practical people, Blood in the Mist has only one taboo. Its citizens must never ever become involved with anything or anyone from fairy. To listen to fairy music is a curse, to eat fairy fruit is a horrifying sin, to travel to fairyland means certain death, and the greatest insult possible is to be called son of a fairy. Even dreamers and musicians are suspect in a land so rigorously devoted to the law, the creation of wealth, and plain common sense. But what is life without poetry, music, dreams, or delicious and forbidden fruit?
Nothing.
So, I just feel like this is giving if The Cruel Prince was a classic type of vibe. Like, I can handle like some Thread of Glass type fae, but at my core, I'm a dark and twisted fae kind of girl, and I'm hoping it's giving that. If like they're forbidden to have anything to do with them, there must be a reason. So, I'm very excited to take my time and like slowly read this in between things because I think it will be really pretty too.
Yeah. Okay. This book has been on my TBR for probably, I'm not joking, 10 years.
And it's tiny.
And I've had a different copy. It was ugly. Super ugly. So I thought to myself, maybe if I get a better cover, I'll actually want to read it. So I got this one. And it's colorful. So,
it's very Monet.
if you don't know, The Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery is one of the few only adult books that she's ever written. And this follows a girl named, I think you say it, Valancy? Is that how you would say it?
I would think so.
But she is on the cusp of becoming 30. She's unmarried.
No.
A burden to her parents with no prospects. And her mom is like giving Mrs. Bennet vibes like she's a gossip and she's overbearing. And her parents just are like constantly reminding her that she's a failure, basically.
Real.
And then she receives some kind of health diagnosis, and so she decides, I'm gonna like live my life to the full, and I'm gonna like come out of the oppression that I'm living under with my parents. And so she goes on like this journey of self-discovery.
This is giving, kind of.
What?
I feel like you need to read Miss Newberry's list so bad.
And so I don't know if she has like friends that she kind of goes on this journey with, or if it's just people she meets along the way. But it's very short. It's barely 150 pages.
It's a little small.
It's interesting though, because like the chapters are like this. So it's not like, most chapters start on a new page. So that's kind of weird. But I have read some of this before and I remember liking it. I just didn't finish it. So I really want to finish this because I need to. It's a need. So.
Okay. My next book is Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. And it's a crime that I haven't read this.
It is. And you have red hair now. Like, what are you even doing?
And I feel so bad because I just feel as though I'm sure I could find Anne to be relatable. And I've always loved like everything about Anne of Green Gables, Ellen Montgomery, and I just haven't actually read this, which is so wrong. So, plan on doing that, and then we'll see how many books I get into the series. I'm not sure as of right now. I'm just planning to start with this one, and then if I read other books in the series, it's a plus.
The next book on my TBR I've also had for a long time. Are you seeing a theme here? But that is Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. I read her book Other Birds in the fall, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed her writing. This is her debut novel.
Yeah, the cover progression is kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah, this is really pretty. Actually, this is also a really pretty.
Oh yeah,
it's like speckled. But this book is totally giving practical magic vibes, and it's set in North Carolina. So this is about a family named the Waverleys that have always been like kind of a topic of discussion, I guess you would say, in this town. And they are known for their apple trees. And like, I guess a lot of people think there's like magical powers surrounding their apple trees. But the current owner of the Waverly property is a woman named Claire, who is a caterer by trade. And so she is now, I guess, the caretaker of the Waverly's estate, house, whatever. And her mom left her and her sister when they were young. And then eventually her sister leaves her. And so she's just like the only one left in this town. And then one day her sister shows back up to their, family home, and her sister now has a daughter. And Claire didn't, I think, even know anything about her sister's life or that she had a daughter. So now they're like trying to rekindle their relationship, but also figure out how to like go forward as a family, because now I think the sister is wanting to like move back home or whatever. So there's like some family dynamics to be resolved. There's also, I guess, in practical magic, if you've seen it too, like the sisters kind of feel like outcasts of the town that they live in. And so I think they're trying to like come to terms with their reputation in this town as well, and like where they fit in. So anyways, I think this could be like the spring practical magic. Possibly.
Okay, my last book is Ready or Not by Cara Stone. And I feel like I've had this forever, and I just got it last year. But this is about Eve, and she's a very type A person, and she lives in Brooklyn, and the rest of her family just lives in the Midwest, and they don't really understand why she lives there, so it doesn't seem like she's very close with them. And then she has her best friend Willa, and one night she uncharacteristically has a one-night stand with a guy, and she becomes pregnant, and it causes her relationship with her best friend to be kind of rocky, which I personally don't understand.
Yeah.
I would be kind of pissed off, but whatever. So then it becomes that Willa's older brother is actually the one helping her through this. So she's kind of like starting to catch feelings for Willa's older brother, and then there's also the father of the child that's like going back and forth of if he's gonna be supportive or not. And so it seems like low-key very stressful.
Yeah.
But
the cover's cute.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Everyone says it's just a very sweet, kind of slow burn romance, and I'm excited for the setting too.
Okay, so this book I just got yesterday for 50 cents. That's a deal. It's a steal. You don't understand. But this is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I've yet to read anything by Ann Patchett, despite knowing that I need to. So this is her newest, but it's going to be my first one, I guess. Anyways, it literally says in the spring of 2020 on the opening line of the synopsis. So I was like, obviously I have to read this now. So this is kind of the story that one mother tells of her life and her like whirlwind romance that she has with a famous actor. And she's telling the story for the first time to her 3 daughters. So it's kind of like they're seeing their mom in a different light. They're learning about like her youth and her adventurous side. And I've heard that the audiobook of this is really good because Meryl Streep is the narrator. So I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll read it while listening to it or just listen to it or go back and forth. I don't know, but I really want like that full experience. So yeah, I'm excited to read something written by her. When we lived in Nashville, I was completely unaware of the fact that she has a bookstore in Nashville called Parnassus that we would always be near and never went to. So I'm like mad at myself for never going to that. But it's okay, I'll go one day, someday.
It's not that far.
Yeah. But I want to see what the hype about her writing is all about. So I'm going to read Tom Lake. And that's it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you plan to read. If we have anything in common. If you've read any of these, let us know if you liked them. If you didn't, don't let me know.
Yeah.
Or I will probably put it off and I need to form my own opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Or if there was something we should add.
Yes. That too.
We're always, up for recommendations because that's an excuse to go buy more books.
I'm going to the bookstore this weekend too, so we need books to buy.
Yeah, we do.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time.